Female genital mutilation is recognized internationally as a violation of the human rights of girls and women. In Kenya, the practice of FGM is illegal, but because it is so embedded in the culture, it is still widely practiced.
A concept like FGM is something cultural, and culture is something solid. It is not hollow. It's not something you can easily change by the power of the gun.
According to the Kenya Demographic and Health Survey of 2022, Samburu County leads in teenage pregnancies at 50% and also tops the list of new HIV infections among young people in the country. This was largely attributed to FGM, which leads to child marriages and young people engaging in unprotected sex. But in recent years, this community in the heart of Kenya's northern frontier has been on a transformative journey, a journey to restore dignity and hope to girls and women. This is the post-Kisima roadmap to end FGM and child marriage in Samburu County. On March 5, 2021, the then President of Kenya, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, presided over the landmark Kisima Declaration to end FGM in Samburu.
We agreed on three major things during Kisima Declaration. We agreed to end FGM in the whole of Samburu. That is why every clan was represented during the declaration. We agreed to embrace and bless all our girls, both cut and uncut, instead of cursing them. We also agreed to encourage our people to embrace education.
Even with the signing of the declaration, the Samburu people held tightly to their culture. Implemented through the State Department of Gender and Affirmative Action and county governments, the Kenya-Finland bilateral program on gender-based violence came in with interventions that involved the custodians and implementers of culture as a catalyst towards winning the war against FGM and child marriage in the county.
We came in to support their roadmap. Samburu County being a patriarchal society where culture is deep-rooted, we work with the elders. They are the decision makers in Samburu culture. And once they have that buy-in, it is easy for you to see the results that you would want.
FGM is a community issue because for many years we were walking along this journey. We were only engaging women, but we realized that the voices of the men is very critical in this journey. And so when the Samburu elders decided that we are going to say no to FGM and child marriage, for us that was a very big breakthrough.
This project, jointly funded by the Government of Kenya and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Finland, did not have to reinvent the wheel, but worked with the existing tools, the Kisima Declaration.
When we signed the Kisima Declaration with the President, we started engaging other elders in creating awareness about the roadmap. We have engaged the Morans as well, and we're in the process of engaging and reaching even more people.
This was a ray of hope the women in Samburu County were waiting for. It was the beginning of a new era for the Samburu girl.
We were trained and got to learn about our rights. I am now enlightened and I even have a certificate from the training.
Under the Kisima Declaration, the elders committed to embrace and bless and protect all girls.
We agreed to educate our girls till they are of age to be married and allow them to make their choices on who they want to marry. We want to involve our women in the development agenda and not discriminate them.
And true to their word, they used all possible avenues to engage members of the community.
We supported the elders to reach the remote areas whereby they led discussions on science of FGM and the effects of FGM to other community members. We also supported them to have school outreaches. This is whereby they were creating awareness on Kisima Declaration and also talking to the girls, given that FGM is a cultural issue. So it really had the weight coming from the elders rather than having the teachers talk about it, because elders are the custodian of culture.
The energetic Morans were also not left behind. Through the training and regular community engagements and directive from the elders, they are now at the forefront to say no to this ancient cultural practice.
The Morans used to be very ignorant about matters affecting our community like child marriages and FGM before the program. We would only meet during emergencies or war. We engaged the Morans and they brought the message. They have agreed to accept uncut girls as wives and are also involved in dissemination of key declaration messages.
They are now awake to many cultural misconceptions.
After the program, we had the first ever radio show to talk about the dangers of FGM, and thereafter, we've had several trainings with other Morans as well. We've been trained on the negative effects of FGM, both short-term and long-term. We've also been trained on how to protect ourselves from STIs.
Women leaders at the grassroots level have also joined the movement, using their influence to champion for change and teach as many as they can.
As a survivor, I am trying to influence my community to change their attitude and protect our girls from the harmful practice of FGM. I consider myself a role model, as none of my daughters has undergone FGM. Since 1992, I have been fighting against FGM, and I'll not stop until we eliminate it completely.
Women also have a role to play on matters FGM, given that they are the ones who do all the preparation for the girls to undergo the cut. And they're also the ones who are really encouraging the stigma to the girls who are uncut. And once we have the buy-in of the women, we will reduce the stigma, and they will have to accept these girls who have not undergone the cut by not viewing them as the outcasts of the community, but see them as also women who can undergo all the cultural rites without the cut, and they can also become leaders and all that community pertains.
Through community forums, radio interviews, and one-on-one conversations with elders, Morans, and women leaders, there is hope for the roadmap being sustained long after the program has ended.
FGM cases have reduced considerably because we now have champions who are supporting our work, unlike before, where the chiefs were the only ones fighting FGM. I have seen uncut women get married and begin families.
The Kenya-Finland bilateral program has brought a lasting change to Samburu. With close to 1,000 elders and cultural leaders supported to implement the roadmap, safer communities and increased support for survivors have been recorded.
My eldest daughter was circumcised, but after the training, I decided that my other girls will not go through the same.
Female genital mutilation cases and teen marriages have significantly reduced, and a new generation is rising. One where everyone has the right to a future free from any form of violence.